JB, excited here to do something we haven't done before, but we realize as we're getting closer and closer to the season, it's time to drop some interviews. This is, we talked about at the end of show number 1, how important it is to us to feature the student athletes. And we didn't get to really do that per se in show 1, but we're going to be doing it over the next basically 6 days, starting Saturday, moving forward all the way to Thursday. And we'll get that to happen right up to kickoff, basically, on Thursday. Speaking of that kickoff, it involves this player that's on our list down here, Tyler Carey, senior wide receiver from Kings College. Before we get into this, your thoughts on Kings generally before we hear from Tyler.
Well, they were definitely one of the biggest stories of Region 1 last year, other than maybe Springfield, I'd guess, because, they knocked Delaware Valley off the perch of the champs of the Mid-Atlantic Conference, or the MAC, which Del Valle had ruled for years. So it was a big run for them. They did lose, though, their first game of the season in the Mayor's Cup to Wilkes, which is their crosstown rival. And so they started off on a rough note, but they went on to win 9 games and get to the playoffs. So successful year for the Monarchs. Can they do it again? Tyler is an interesting story because he got injured in the preseason. He had to sit on the sidelines last year and watch his team, do this thing. Now he's one of the senior leaders coming into fall. And so we talked to him about it. So Tyler, as we've seen over the years in D3 football, you experienced one of the fortunate situations of right before the week 1, you suffer an ACL injury. You're out for the season. You rehabbed. You're back. You're ready to go. You've got a game in a couple of weeks. Tell us about this whole process of having to kind of watch the team on the sidelines, kind of work your way back into the starting.
Well, first of all, it was last year when it happened. I was heartbroken. I didn't even know that I was going to come back to even play football. I had to be lifted into the car every time I got it. And after a while, I got coming back and just got rehab. And trainers were real great. Like, they helped me out so much. And then in the spring, I really didn't do too much. It was just me getting my strength back in my leg. And then summer hits and I got cleared and I worked out with some of the local guys here. And then I got cleared by my trainers when I came back, and it's been feeling great. I get to play football with the guys that I love, and just coming back and being able to run routes, catch the ball, it feels awesome.
Tyler, what a season it was, though, for Kings overall. It was supposed to be Del Valle's place, your conference, for how many years it was, and then all of a sudden, here comes Kings with a playoff spot, a playoff win versus Ursinus and everything else. Having a sideline obviously sucked, to put it lightly, but to be there with your guys and everything else and to be able to support them, take us through the season as a teammate at that point and how it felt to watch these guys.
So after I got injured, I was more of a vocal leader at that point. So before almost every Friday practice, before every game, I would give a huge speech to all the guys and just saying how everything can change in an instant, like how it did for me. But that's why you give your all every single rep and just try to just remember your technique and put as much work in as you can every rep.
Absolutely. And Tyler, one of the things that I've heard about the Kings program from Bridget, your SID, is apparently there's a significance to being given the number 3. I guess last season, one of your guys, Mike DiGregorio, wore that number. You obviously would have normally worn it if you weren't injured. Well, tell us a little bit about what number 3 means to the Kings College Monarchs.
So the number 3, most of the Old Forge guys had number 3. So Mozaleski had number 3. And then I just kind of wanted to fill that spot. And then I got injured. And I didn't know that Mike DiGregorio was getting a single digit. But then when he told that he was going to take over my number and basically give his season towards me, it was a great feeling, especially in such a low place I was in that moment. He really picked me back up. And that's what we kind of kind of want to like create this atmosphere at Kings where you know you have the guys who support you on the team.
Yeah, that's a heck of a thing he did to honor you. Now, obviously, you're claiming your number back, if I had to guess, in this year. So, a short-lived number 3, if I had to guess, but we'll see how it plays out. I mean, we'll see how it plays out not that long from now. JB alluded to it a couple weeks away as we record this from a Thursday night opener, the Mayor's Cup. And before I get specifically into this game, and I know JB's got some questions for you on that anyway, turn your attention to the season as a whole. Obviously, a game like that is how you start and how you set the trend for the rest of the year. But, tell us about what we should expect from Kings. What's going to be different about this team in 2025 besides having you back out on the field?
So we're still trying to create that atmosphere that we had last year of just being there for everybody and going 1-0 in every rep. For expectation-wise, we aren't really focused on the future. We're more focused on today. So, like, if people are 10 minutes late or something like that, like, we like get on them, hold them up to the standard. So we can hold them up to the standard now, so then when it comes more towards the season, like, we already meet those expectations of where we're supposed to be.
Tyler, we're not going to let you give away any of the company secrets, but we'll just speak in general about the quarterback battle that's been going on. It's preseason. Obviously, Russell Meyer-Shaw has graduated. He was a great QB for the Monarchs last season. He's gone on, and I think he won a championship in the European Professional League. This offseason, well, this season, I guess, for them, but off season for us in the U.S. How is the quarterback situation playing out? Are you finding some chemistry with the new QB1 there, Kings?
Kind of move guys around a lot. So, like, our QB1 would be maybe with the QB4s at some time. So everybody's getting different chemistry with every different wide receiver, tight end, running back that we have. So there is a battle, but I feel like whoever we put in the scenario to be the QB1, like, we could put trust in them.
So the 4th, the Mayor's Cup, we're intending on attending to kick off the season with you guys and the rest of the country pretty much. For those that are not, let's say, historically part of this rivalry game, tell us about it. What makes this one special? What makes it something that we should absolutely attend, even though we've already decided on it? Why should anybody come and attend the Mayor's Cup game? And what does it mean to you personally as you prepare probably to kind of end your college football journey to have this one last chance at it?
I mean, first off, they're not even 2 minutes down the road. It's a huge rivalry. We see them all the time. I feel like it's more focused on, yes, it's a huge rivalry, but, like, we have to be more ready today than we are for September 4th and just keep moving forward each and every rep, each and every day. I mean, of course, it's a huge game, and the atmosphere is crazy. I mean, it's going to be a Thursday night. The lights are going to be on us in the dark. It's going to be real cool.
Yeah, very exciting. And I know that most Kings fans or people who have been following your team from last year saw those 10 whatever wins in a row, but Wilkes did, win the Mayor's Cup last year, so I imagine there's a lot of Monarch guys who want to bring the cup back across the street and under their supervision for the year. I imagine that's a big deal. And then all of a sudden, week 2, you guys got to play at Del Val, so a real big couple of games for you guys to kick off the year. I imagine the intensity is really high. How does the team feel with all this stuff about to happen, Sam?
Like I said before, like, we have a joint practice tomorrow with another team, so we're more focused on what we need to do there. And of course, there's a couple people that are looking forward to Wilkes, but we kind of try to, like, reel them back in to be like, hey, like, we got to focus on today and not a couple weeks down the road. Like, of course, we want to be ready for that, but tomorrow is more of a purpose than September 4th.
Absolutely. And Tyler, one thing real quick, I thought I would bring this up, especially since we have someone sometimes inhabits in New York City. I understand that your hometown of Old Forge, Pennsylvania, in the borough of Lackawanna, is known as the, quote, pizza capital of the world, where they serve square cuts of pizza. And so apparently there's this town in Pennsylvania that's telling New Haven and New York City and Chicago, everywhere else, forget it. We're the pizza capital. So can you tell us a little bit about what's going on with these square pizzas in Old Forge?
I mean, if you look it up, if you look up what's the pizza capital of the world, it does say Old Forge. So I'm not trying to pick a fight here, but I mean, don't get me wrong. I love New York pizza, but I grew up in Old Forge. I love the square pizza.
There it is. I'm looking at it.
So if we can get some, we might have to.
I'm looking up
Old Forge pizza. We might have to to the game here, Frank.
Yeah.
Well, look at this, Sal. Dave Portnoy did go to Cafe Rinaldi. He did go to Arcaro and Janelle, Salerno's Cafe, Casamano, and maybe others. So he has actually made the Old Forge circuit. I did not realize that. El Presidente, Dave Portnoy, who's a little busy right now here in the Saratoga area, watching the horses. But okay, we'll figure this out. If somebody from your family wants to bring me some square cut to the game on that Thursday night, they can feel free to. I will never turn it down. But Tyler, we want to give you the opportunity here to give any shout-outs to family, friends, teammates, and coaches, etc. The floor is yours. Tyler Carey, on his way back here for the 2025 season, shout-outs.
I want to shout out to my mom, my dad, my girlfriend, and all the coaches, Coach Zabrowski, Coach Carter, Coach EJ Shriners, one of our coaches, Coach Levine, all the coaches, and of course my teammates. Even through last year, they've helped me out so much, and now I get to be back with them and create more chemistry with them, and I'm very excited to see how this goes.
So my first time this season, I get to remind a player that says, I want to shout out my girlfriend, to shout out the first name of the girlfriend so you don't get in trouble when she watches this and says, why didn't you say who I was?
Her first name's Carolyn.
What was it? One more time?
Carolyn. Her first name's
Carolyn.
Okay.
Carolyn's got a good guy there. So good job, Carolyn. You rubbed in a good one. But he's got some business to take care of this season as Kings looks to defend. But first, get back the Mayor's Cup on September 4th to kick off this season. Tyler, been a pleasure. Best of luck this season. Just to get back out there is sensational, and we're rooting for you to have a successful season.
Thank you so much for having me on here. This was a pleasure, and I'm excited to see you guys on September 4th.
Thanks to Tyler. Thanks to everybody over at Kings that made this happen. And, we will see firsthand. We will be there for the kickoff on Thursday to see what happens in the Mayor's Cup game. So until that point, we'll let them prep for that game, prep for us coming into town and everything else. Stay tuned. As we said, we're going to do multiple interviews throughout this week, just dropping them on Twitter and other places. So keep tuning back in. Keep looking on your Twitter feed for our new content because we got some fantastic player interviews coming up. Thanks for joining us. Okay, as we said in the last time you saw us probably, we are dropping just all of our player interviews here one by one, and we're staying in Region 1. We're going in order from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 over the next few days. But JB got out to Newport, Rhode Island. First off, how was that? I mean, you got to see our friend Kevin Gilmartin out there. Isn't it a great place to go to college and play football?
Oh, my. It is so beautiful there. I can't believe they don't have people knocking down the doors left and right to attend. I mean, and you got to love the stadium kind of just tucked away in between these like sea walls, and you can kick balls off the rooftops of these old buildings. It's really a special place, and it was great to finally meet Coach Gilmartin after kind of knowing him all these years and doing in the huddle and talking about the Seahawks. And And it was great to be on campus and meet a couple of their, basically the starting left side of the offensive line. They have a quarterback competition going on there at Salve. I did meet Jake Stack, who's a coach. He's, I think, wrapping up a master's or something. And so, we've covered him over the years, but there's going to be someone new that they'll be blocking for that we're not going to tell you who. I have an idea, but these are the guys, the big guys up front that are going to be protecting the new starting QB. And they have a big game against UMass Dartmouth in week 1.
I'll tell you, they call them the big uglies, but these guys are not ugly at all. Come on now. We've got Aidan, Canty, and Sebastian Pacheco with you, JB, on this interview.
From Newport, Rhode Island, we're here at preseason camp for the Salve Regina Seahawks. Guys, I got Aidan Canty over here. Sebastian Pacheco, did I say anything right? Pacheco. Okay, I got to get that right. I'm 6 foot 225. These guys are a lot bigger than me. That's why they play on the left side of the offensive line. They're going to be protecting the new quarterback of the Seahawks. Guys, I'll start with you, Sebastian. How has preseason gone so far?
Preseason's been going good, honestly. I think it's been a very smooth transition going into the summer workouts, into the fall camp. I believe that we have a good group of guys. I think that we can, make some noise and shock the conference. I think we have a group of people that really care about football and really care about winning. So, been excited.
What about you, Aidan? What do you think?
We got a lot of guys this year. A lot of seniors returning. We got a tight group this year for sure. Excited for the season for sure. These guys have been working their butt off. So I'm really excited to see what we're going to do this year, and I think we can come away with the win. So
before we talk about 25, let's talk a little bit about last season, Sebastian. You guys were in a lot of close games, especially in the latter. You won your final game of the season to finish 6-4 by 1 point, and a couple of other close calls along the way. What did you learn from some of these close contests that you can take into this year?
I think the biggest thing that we need to do is just take care of the little things. I feel like last year in those close games, we had unnecessary penalties that really got, cost us games, or against SUNY Maritime, it was a very close game, as well as, just cleaning up little things, little technique, and just knowing, what we're doing, and just giving everything 100%. I just think these little things is what's going to make the difference for us.
Yes. That over here is the official mascot of the Seahawks. You have the seagulls in the background. Aidan, you guys were picked to finish second in the latest NewMac poll for the preseason, 1 first place vote. Any reaction to that, or is it just sort of, it's a preseason poll, doesn't matter, you're all in all?
That's been the most to us, but we're happy about us to share, but we're getting to that number 1. Let's shoot for the top, and we always shoot for the top, so we're happy about it. We're glad we got not one number 1 vote, but we can definitely do better too, so that's it.
Sebastian, you guys have a really great opening game against a playoff team, a conference defending champion in the UMass Dartmouth Corsairs. What's the team's sort of thought process around getting ready for that? Obviously, you got a couple of weeks or less than at this point. As we're recording this on a Saturday, it's coming up in 2 weeks. How is the team getting ready?
Yeah, so we know UMass Dartmouth is a very good team. What they bring to the table. They had success last year. We're not taking them lightly at all. We're going in we have to go full speed and hit them before they hit us, and we're just going in confidently, and the guys, we just need to execute. That's really all it is.
Aidan, you guys are seniors. Unless there's some kind of medical redshirt stuff I don't know about, this be your last season potentially of college football. Any thoughts of what you want to do after college? Any things with your major? What life have for you?
Getting my MBA here at Salve, so I'll do the rest of the year. Going to their program, it's all online, but I'm graduated with a business degree in accounting, so I'm looking forward to maybe getting my CPA and studying that. I know Sebastian's doing the same thing, so we're kind of together and a lot.
I got a buddy of mine who's a retired partner with him, a big accounting firm down in Florida. And he says there are a lot of openings for new accountants. So you guys should have no problem jobs. So, but tell me a little bit about what your plan is, Sebastian.
Yeah, me and Canty, we're same major. We're in a lot of the same classes. We have similar goals and similar paths. So, yeah, I plan on doing the same thing. I'm going to get my MBA here in accounting. And then from there on, I hope to land a job and study for my CPA exam and make some money.
Make some money. All right. Well, I'm going to step out of the frame, guys. This is a tradition we have on In the Huddle where the student athletes get a chance to send shout outs to any friends, family, former teammates, whomever. Sebastian and Aidan, floor is yours.
Shout out to my mom, my family, and Coach Elion.
Yeah, shout out to my mom, my dad, my family. Shout out Coach Mags, Lincoln High School. Big reason why I play football. And shout out Coach Elion Telford. That dude knows what he's talking about. He's a dog.
My high school coach, Coach Chicola.
Good.
Great work, JB. Listen, as technologically unsound as you feel like you are sometimes, you make it work. It's okay. We got this. You made it work. And that's what's important. So
what's funny, though, Coach, because Coach was in the background being like, hey, speak up. Like, guys, forgot the mics. They got the wrong thing. Anyway, but yeah, it was great to meet those guys. Obviously, you could tell Sebastian, big dude, he's going to be a big reason for the Seahawks offense moving the ball this season. We'll see.
Thanks for FaceTiming me at 8 a.m., by the way, when you were out there. But Coach Coach had lost his voice already, so that should tell you the kind of preseason he has had. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, 100% that's me. Anyway, folks, we're going to be heading out, I believe, next up to Region 2 on our next interview coming up, so make sure you stay tuned for that. We'll continue our interview series here for the next few days. We continue our player interview series here, now in Region 2. We are going to a team switching conferences from the Pac to the Centennial and switching quarterbacks because of graduation. Ben Mills is obviously done at this point. He graduated off, so it's time for the Joey McGinnis IV era in Carnegie Mellon football, as he did see time, we discussed some of this, throughout the last couple of seasons in different ways, Wildcat offense or coming in when Ben Mills couldn't go for whatever reason. And JB, this is an interesting situation. New conference, new quarterback. Ryan Larson's got his hands full here, I think, for sure. But obviously, McGinnis knows the general offensive scheme over there.
Yeah, I agree, Frank. And while he is a very different type of player than Mills, he did, come in a key playoff game against Center, got him into the end zone. So he knows how to move the ball, but definitely a very different style. But it's going to be tricky for the defenses that go up against them too, because they're going to see tape of more of a drop back QB from the prior year. McGinnis is not that, but he knows how to win football games. He's proven that.
Let's hear from Joey McGinnis.
So when we look at your bio, Joey, you've appeared in about 25 games as a Tartan. One, though, stands out because I remember last year during the playoffs, Center pulled it to a 2-point game. Ben Mills was injured. You had to come in and save the day. So tell us a little bit about that experience and how you've taken that going into the 25 season.
Like you mentioned, I had to come in and perform my job. Like Ryan Larson, my head coach, loves to say, you never rise to the occasion, you fall to the levels of your preparation. So just being well prepared, knowing the scheme and going in and completing my job, that's what I was set out to do. And luckily I was able to complete it. And it was great in-game experience. That's, I guess, one of the main focal points going into this year as well. Just having that experience in tight games, like you mentioned, I think it's very advantageous to me this year.
Joey, I've been to a good number of Carnegie Mellon games over the last couple of years or a few years, and I've seen you get inserted more or less as a Wildcat quarterback. Ben Mills comes out, you come in, short yardage to goal line usually, and that's been kind of your function. That's a change of style, definitely, for the Carnegie Mellon offense. And now you being inserted as the main guy, does that change this offensive style at all for what people might have been used to with the 82 years of Ben Mills? It feels like we watched him out there playing. I mean, what is going to be kind of the tone and tenor of this offense with you at the helm?
You mentioned Ben Mills ran the show. Shout out to Ben Mills for a couple of years now. I guess my mindset, and I'm sure my head coach would echo this, we're going to do whatever it takes to win. So being able to showcase my unique skills, being able to implement whatever system and scheme we need to win the game that week, that's what we're going to do. So it may be different schemes, different formations, whatever it takes to win. That's what we're set out to do.
Joey, one of the things we've seen in the changeover from 24 to 25 is basically the graduation of kind of two classes of seniors, right? Now, you and your classmates of 26, the seniors in the fall of this year, kind of have to take on a much bigger leadership role. How have you and the guys in your class sort of stepped up to lead this group of Tartans, especially with all the graduations?
Like you mentioned, it's a good chunk of our team that graduated, but like every single program, every new year is going to be a new team. No team is the same year on after out. So, like you mentioned, being able to step up as leaders, being vocal, defining our standards, exceeding our expectations, and making a very cohesive culture is a multitude of things that we've been doing as seniors to be able to lead the team looking forward.
Okay, we speak of new team, but let me talk about new teams, as in you guys are joining a new conference. The Centennial is welcoming you guys in, and you're looking to spoil the party over there for the types of teams like Johns Hopkins and Muhlenberg and Moravian and others out there. And so, I mean, it's a challenge enough for you to go in now, as the head guy, as quarterback. But how much more challenging is it not having played or seen most of the teams on your schedule this year because of this change? What does this do to you guys? I'm sure that it will be the same answer for the other teams versus you that haven't played you. But what does this do, mentally for this team heading into a whole different schedule conference-wise?
It's great that you mentioned, new conference, great competition. However, we adopt the same mindset every week. We're going to go and execute our scheme, do what we have to do as a team, and only focus on the week being 1-0 mentality. I think that's going to help us a lot this season, no matter who lines up against us across the field.
So, Joey, I'm curious because I saw in your bio you're from High Point, North Carolina, which is home to a relatively new, almost country club university that's there. How did you not stay at home in the country club and end up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the grit, blue collar city, the home of the Pittsburgh Steelers? I guess you guys had the Tampa Buccaneers practicing on your field last week before the preseason game. So how does a guy from North Carolina end up in Pittsburgh?
Great question. I get that question a lot, actually. So I knew going into college that engineering is something that I wanted to pursue at the highest level. Also, while being able to pursue my passion for football, and being a CMU allows me to do both things simultaneously. So I felt like the perfect space for me. And also, I get just personally, I love to travel. I love to see new things. There's a lot of the world to see for me. So I felt like getting outside of my hometown would give me a great opportunity to do so. I love to hear it so far.
Earlier on, before the interview, we saw a familiar face, Coach Ryan Larson, and we're going more player-centric on these interviews, and I'm sure we'll be talking to Coach at some point this season. So, Coach, thanks for helping us line this up. But there's been, to me, since he's taken over, kind of a change in attitude, a change in energy to a certain degree for Carnegie Mellon. He seems to bring a certain energy that, sure, there's been success for Carnegie Mellon for years, but it seems different. And you've been there for long enough now to maybe be able to encapsulate it in words what he means to you and your teammates and why there's been such a positive responsiveness from you guys under him over the last few years especially. Tell us about Coach Larson, what keeps you there in terms of what he's done to keep you there all this time in this transfer portal world we're in right now. And, why you like the guy or why your teammates like the guy so much.
My head coach is a pretty cool guy, I'd say. But yeah, I'd say as far as the success and I guess new look, maybe new attitude that you mentioned as far as the team is concerned, I say first the standards that we set as a team and that he set for the program. We don't listen to it for anything. So living up to those standards, exceeding expectations is something that's drilled into our culture. That is something that I feel like has led to our success. Like I mentioned, everyone on the team, we want to win. And that type of attitude and mentality is definitely echoed by the entire coaching staff. So being in an environment like that, especially when it comes to football, is something that's advantageous for me. It's something that's drawn me and helped me in the program as well.
And I bet what's more fun than having a coach that shoots selfies during practice with your number and the creativity of the subtraction and the greater than and the minus. I mean, perfect for engineering school. So it looks like a lot of fun. Frank mentioned traveling, and you guys do have a road trip to get ready for in week 1. You're going to go up to the Windy City of Chicago to take on the Maroons. I'd imagine it's a school that you may have even looked at because it's in the same circles as Carnegie Mellon as far as engineering. You know, they were 6-4 last year, same thing the year before that. I mean, how do you resist the temptation to, be like, okay, we got this trip, but week 2, we got Wisconsin lacrosse coming to town. How do you use one of the student leaders of this team, be like, we got to beat Chicago first. We'll worry about the Eagles next.
Absolutely. It's pretty much what you said. Just having the mindset across the entire team that keeping the main thing, and that is the opponent that given week. Yes, we have a great competition throughout the season, but as long as, and this is a culture and a mindset that's echoed, like I said, across the team by our head coach as well. Just focusing on the week ahead and the opponent in front of us, and everything else will take care of itself down the road.
Joey, about you, I mean, technically senior, I don't know if you're in an eligibility position or not. You can choose to tell us, what the answer is to that and your intentions. But, I mean, what is next for you after this year? I know we haven't even stepped foot in the classroom probably, or just barely have at this point as we record this. But, what is next for you with respect to life in general after Carnegie Mellon?
Great question. I try not to keep my head too much in the future and just try to be where my feet are. But I guess to answer the question, pursuing, my career, I'm a mechanical engineering major. More recently, I completed an internship in the consulting field. So maybe something within that. Yeah, that's probably what I'd say.
Well, as a parent of a recent engineering graduate, I can say that there's a pretty good job market out there for you guys. So I'm sure that you'll have some choices, which is always nice. I think we could sit here and talk to you all day, Joey. It's been a lot of fun, but I know you have some games to get ready for and classes to get ready for. A tradition in the Huddle that's been going on for 18 seasons is shout outs for our player guests to any friends, family, anyone you want us to give a shout out to. Joey McGinnis, the fourth.
Sure. Yes, sir. Thank you. Shout out my family, my mom, my dad, all my siblings, all cousins, aunties, uncles, everyone who's going to be watching this. I'm sure they're tuning in, as well as my team and my coaches. Also, shout out my Lord and Savior. None of this would be possible without him. So I also really appreciate y'all as well for giving the opportunity to speak.
Well, we would be on guys like you. Oh, yeah, well, who knew? But no,
What a shot.
okay, we would be nothing.
Coach Larson ice them probably to get them all fired up, right?
Yeah, probably does. But anyway, Joey, we appreciate you. We appreciate Carnegie Mellon, who has been nothing but sensational with us in our show over the years, especially with Coach Larson there. And I am pretty sure at some point in time you'll see me on the sideline And we'll see if I get to talk to you after the game, as that usually means you'll win the game if I put a microphone in front of your face after things are said and done at those games. You will have plenty of wins, though, I'm sure, this season. So best of luck to you guys, and we'll see you down the road.
So much. I appreciate y'all.
Thanks again, as always, to the folks over at Carnegie Mellon, and especially Coach Larson, very hands-on to help us out with these things. And, you heard it in this interview, what makes them special, what's made things, work there at Carnegie Mellon. And so to hear the players' beliefs in their coach and the support for their coaches is always a big deal, I think, and something to pay attention to. We'll see where it goes. This is going to be very, very interesting. Lacrosse, obviously, that early game is going to be key to see who this team is. We'll find out soon. We got a lot more where this came from. Oh, yes, sir.
So originally we were trying to also get senior wide receiver John Peduzzi from Washington and Jefferson as part of our Region 2 interviews. Couldn't make it happen, but I have reached out to John, and he will definitely be joining us at some point in the season, probably on one of our Friday morning shows. He's, I think, the active leading receiving, most receiving yards of any active D3 player at the moment. So we definitely want to have John on. A little more Region 2 coverage coming your way.
Sounds good. We'll be moving on to other regions as we continue in this series. So stay tuned, folks, as the player interview series continues.